Hello everybody, happy Easter. I don't know if you can hear that. Today we're cooking risotto. Gonna do just some basic corn risotto. I forgot to defrost the protein, that's fine. But risotto's fancy and it's Easter dinner, so yay! If you can't hear that, I might actually have to turn it up because that is epically awful. It is The Plague by Jimmy Swaggart. That will be today's soundtrack, because irony. The Plague on Easter. God bless it. Alright, I'll be back soon with some cooking stuff. Oh, let's cook. Let's start chopping. You always want to chop your stuff up ahead of time. You always watch these cooking shows where they're chopping it while they're cooking, and that is just madness and bad editing and evilness. We're going to use a lot of this head of garlic. I might use the whole thing. We'll find out. So it's going to be pretty garlicky. I'm going to use half of the red onion. I'm going to mince that up. I'm going to shred up a bunch of cheese. That might be good. That's fine. Yeehaw. Jimmy, telling it like it is. I actually am cheating a little bit with this. Not the risotto, the sermon. I own the vinyl. I do. Bought it for $1 at a record convention because it's what hipsters like me do. Yeah, I'm sometimes a hipster, what can I say? But since I'm doing it during this, and you really should never walk away from what you're cooking, especially risotto, I'm using a YouTube recording because it's the full length and I don't have to flip the album halfway through. That's fine. So looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. Yeah, sure. That much garlic. This is gonna be very good. You're gonna just take your knife, and that's right. Get that frustration out. You know what I'm saying? Just beat it. Beat that garlic like it owes you money. This is actually going to make it, not only do you get the skins off easier, but you'll see. Look. Done. Don't have to try to peel it off and all that crap. Just comes right off. Not only that, but when you beat it up like that and you break it up already, it's easier to chop. Oh, how many times am I gonna laugh during this video? Oh, this is great. I mean, this Easter is terrible because I'm not at my parents' house cooking for the family, and I hate that so much. So much. I had plans this year. I was going to make some cacio e pepe and ruin my parents' life on pasta. Because they'll never have anything as good as that. That's arrogant to say, but it's so good. So good. Gosh. Beat, get rid of the skin. See that? I mean, that just came off in almost a whole piece. So much better. Yeah, amen. Some of you who watch this might remember this. Jan, if you're watching this, you watch this. If you can hear the sermon, does this not remind you of my presentation during our class? The one where I think I scared the bejesus out of everybody? That was a good one. Yeah, preacher. Sometimes you hit it in such a way that it decides to fly out from under your knife and into the trash. So that's -1 clove of garlic from what I said before. This has got to be plenty. Smash. Woo! Woo! Spitting fire. Boy, Jimmy's spitting fire with that bouffant on the cover of his album. Woo! So, chop this up pretty damn fine. You don't want to eat a whole bunch of huge chunks of garlic in your rice or your risotto or whatever it is. So run it through quite a bit. I could have crushed it with a garlic press, but this is therapeutic in these times. Oh, this is the best! Oh, I'm so happy I picked this. Oh, God, I needed that laugh hard. Wow. Wow, this is some good shit. Whew, Jimmy. Alright, garlic is done. Push that off to the side. Now, don't do as I do with this onion. I just don't have the hand angle to do like you professional chef assholes. But I gotta do something kind of dangerous, and it's fine. I still have all the fingers I was born with. So it's fine. Garlic will make things stick to your finger. So you cut it in half, take that off, take that. Keep this on. People always forget to keep the end of the onion on. Keeps it together so when you're chopping it, it doesn't just all fall apart. You know, I think I cut the wrong end off, but whatever. Try to keep the stem end on. Don't do what I just did. Keep the stem end on. Take off this tough ass layer of nasty. I'm talking about the word called sin. S-I-N. That has the hiss of the he's got the breathing down. Woo. Just the best. Alright, that's too tough. Alright, we have onion. Alright. So, you'll see people do like this thing and this. Oh, maybe I can get it. Nope, see, I'm stupid, so I'm gonna. Don't try this at home. Even at the risk of sounding dated, even at the risk of sounding out of it. Fingers still intact. So you cut into the onion this way first, and then you cut down into it to really mince it up. I got still sharpened by knife. I've been lazy. Fine. And now I'm cutting this onion, and it is going to make me cry. God, this is great. Alright, there. And then you chop it through. Get these nice little pieces. I'm gonna run my knife through it just to, you want small pieces. You don't want chunks. Alright. That's enough. When someone does some dastardly thing, it's an individual's life. That individual is not responsible for his crime. That a Richard Speck that would murder 8 nurses in cold blood. So, chop that up, get it nice. And then next step is doing the rice and all this good stuff. So, before you even start doing all this shit, put your stock and water in a pan and start getting it warm. You don't want to drop a whole lot of cold water into the pan with the rice. Even though I'm going to drop cold wine into it, but that's another reason. But yeah, this is all done. This is your onion, your garlic. I have everything else over there that I need. This fridge over here contains my frozen corn, which will go in not near the end. I'm going to saute that off first with a little bit of this garlic. A little bit of the onion, just a little bit. Some salt and pepper and a little oil. Then I'm going to take that out. So you'll see. Here we go. 2 reasons I'm just doing this. You can see how much more it's gotten. I mean, this thing is, look at that, it's getting kind of thick. Starches are coming out. And I'm hoping you could have heard some of that sermon over this. Because he is. Oh, he's a. Alright. I'm just being an ironic jerk. I know. I'm sorry. But just, it's such a performance. It is great. God bless him. So all of the liquid has made it in. We're on the final approach. I've done this. I miraculously grated my cheese. While this was going, I might have bought myself a little time. Something you're not supposed to do, but that's fine. It's fine. Just waiting for the rest of this liquid to get absorbed. And then I will add, but you can, I mean, look at how much more there is here now in this pan than there was 25 minutes ago. This is just deliciousness. So it's getting there. You don't want to start, well, you can start constantly again, depending on whether or not you're auditioning to be the lead and over the top. One of the worst movies ever. Sorry, Dominic. Trash. But, I mean, you want to start fairly frequently, but it doesn't have to be a constant. Because it will start to stick. And I use the non-stick though because I use the English language because I can speak well. It's great. I do English good. I use the non-stick skillet because I'm trying to clean a regular saute pan with this kind of shit, and it's kind of nightmarish for me. I don't really have the arm strength to do a lot of heavy scrubbing for, anatomical reasons. So, non-stick is my buddy. That's why I'm using not never, but as much as you can absolutely avoid it, don't put metal utensils in a non-stick pan as much as humanly possible. I'm using wood, which, this is like the old Italian grandmother way anyway. It's how you're supposed to do it, so fuck off. Plastic's fine. Anything that doesn't scrub the shit out of it or scrape it. Don't keep if you start using like forks or tongs that aren't silicone tipped or anything that scrapes it, your pan is not going to last anywhere near as long as it should. And when you clean it, use a non-scratchy scrubbing pan if you have to, even though you really shouldn't have to. Just use a sponge. Stuff should come out, and if it doesn't come out, use a let's get it. Very easy on the scratching sponge, like those blue ones that you can get. Alright, that's pretty much done. We're going to re-add the corn. Get in there. Get in there. There's bits in there. Don't want to go. Yep, there we go. That's what we do. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Hooked. Don't really need it up. That's fine. So, and this is good. This is such a good savory dish. And the corn and that caramelized onion from earlier is just going to give it a little bit of a sweet pop here and there. It's just stupid good. Now, for the cheese. Put as much as you like in there. That's what I'm putting in. That goes in. Stir it up. Christ. That sermon, by the way, if you are kind of an asshole like me, I realize I'm being very dickish about it, but God, it's good. I mean, that is just... Look, that's... Oh. Oh. Look. Look. Okay. That's that. That is done. I'll plate it up and try it. Let you know what I think. It is done. The risotto is done. Shit. Looks amazing. Now, I said earlier I forgot to make a protein. And that was a fork. It's a pair of scissors. And I was not kidding. And I was going to have just this risotto for my dinner. And then I got a text this morning, in the afternoon, from my neighbor, Mike Z, one of the best photographers you'll ever see. Check him out. I think it's Mike Zalewski Photography on Instagram. I think that's him. It's amazing. Trust me, you want to look at it. He does some killer shots of like Ocean Drive and other stuff. It's just awesome. The skull teapot's pretty dope. So he sent me a text this morning saying, I made some meatloaf. You want some? And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So thank you, Mike, for the Easter loaf. That smells delicious. That's going to go great with this risotto. I mean, if you look at it, there's going to be a picture that I took. It's very yellow. That's from the saffron. So that saffron flavor got all up in there. You want to throw that into that liquid, the warm liquid, to like let it steep. It's almost like a tea. Then that flavor gets all throughout it. Don't forget the wine. Don't forget the butter. I threw some dry parsley flakes because it needed some kind of color or something like that. And let's try this shit, huh? Let's start with the risotto. Yeah, get you some of that. I should be talking. I'm telling you how good it is. There are no words in any language to describe that. I'm proud of myself. It's not the greatest risotto. I've had much better than that, but it's for however few ingredients there were. It's garlic, onions, corn, and a little bit of saffron with some broth and wine. That's it. And cheese. Definitely some cheese in there. But all the grains are soft enough, but they're still individual, yet they're somehow connected to with all those like starchy. I mean, just shit. Yeah, that happened. Just look at that, and I'll get that later. But yeah, that's delicious. Don't be afraid to make risotto. It has nothing to do with how great of a cook you are. It's time. It's only time. That's what scares everybody off. It's 20 to 25 minutes of just sitting there watching it and stirring pretty frequently. Not all the time. Don't be like, pour. You can stir it for a bit, let it sit. Stir it for a bit, let it sit. And just ladle that liquid in every half cup, and you will get that deliciousness. And I do a bunch of them. I do like red wine with Gruyere and mushrooms. I'll do one with white wine and mushrooms, but what I'll do is I have this. I'll show you. I'll show you probably one of the most ridiculous things I've ever bought, just for the sheer volume of it and trying to figure ways of using it. So I have this giant fucking thing of mushrooms, which is backwards because, it's mirrored, but that's great. But it's got what does it have? It has, these are your mushrooms: portobello, oyster, slippery jack, and black trumpets, and it's phenomenal. And what you do with those, when you get the dried mushrooms, you have to reconstitute them, and you get this really good mushroom broth, which if you strain out any kind of straggly bits out of that, use some of that for your liquid. So you kind of supplement some of the broth with that, and it's really mushroomy if you like mushrooms, which I love them, which is why I bought that stupid thing. You can do this with good God, anything you want to put in it. Asparagus, you want to put seafood in it. That was my original plan. I was going to do some curry shrimp and throw that in there. Didn't happen. Nope. I didn't defrost them because I'm lazy and stupid. That's okay. Still made the risotto. Anyway, make that. It's delicious. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. The next one I'm going to make, if I do a video, which I probably will. I bought a goddamn tripod for this reason. I'm going to show you how to make fresh fusilli. Except I'm cheating because I have a machine that does it for me. And I'm going to make my favorite pasta sauce of all time. Pasta puttanesca. You don't know what that means in English? Look it up. It's damn good. See you next time. Stay fresh, cheese bags. Addendum. That meatloaf is fucking delicious. Thank you, Mike. So, last addendum. Michael Zalewski photo. Not photography. Photo. Do it.